Hello again! Welcome back. As usual, this is Becca going by Nightcat or Nightcat's Meow most places online. And welcome back to another week discussing Linden scripting language. Though this week's going to be a little bit script light because I want to sort of capstone off the explanations of Rezzers systems. And this all started back in the security section when I showed off my little device for you put it in an area. It measures the space and then can be collapsed down and rendered invisible and all that other stuff. Though mostly I just showed you using the box to identify if an avatar is within a specific area. Where that all ties into Rezzers, like the one I showed you over the past couple of weeks to create the quickly put together henges. And how that compares to my on-demand black box Rezzers system that got us all talking, and that is interesting. There is something going wrong with that. So I will have to fix that. Actually, it looks like it just rezzed out everything. So clearly I have something to fix there. See, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I have to fix things. But the core of that system is a Rezzers box like I showed you here, which is good for a home, for putting together, just changing out your furnishing, or even your house itself whenever you need it. But where that ties in with the box that I showed you for security is I use something like that for determining whether or not a on-demand rezzed space needs to stay or not. And the way that works is one of them is created along with these. And the way I did that, and if you go back to my previous video on security, it will show you all about how to make them, so I'm not going to cover that all over again. Just going to cover how to use it. If you want somebody to be able to rezz out something that goes away when they're done playing with it, you can create a box around it, use something akin to the avatar detection I taught you all about during the series on avatar detection and security. That's right, I kept these up in the supers section because I was working on a super sim when I developed them. Avi Tracker. This is all that I taught you about before, using the center and the size to determine the specific range of points on each of the three axes that a given avatar can occupy and be considered inside or outside the given range. The difference is with these that if after a certain period of time it detects that there is not an avatar inside, and it actually has a counter so that if you just step out and step back in, you don't accidentally overdo it. It will give a command, region say, on a channel, kill, plus its group. That was just set up. When I res them, they're all given a group tag. That's a very easy thing, is that when they come out of their storage box, that are these here, or in the one I taught you to make, the Rezzer or Rezzer Black, it just gives that name to them as each piece is rezzed. It's given that name, and then that is its cue to go off to the place it's supposed to be in. Basically, that would trigger, instead of a sleep, this would be tied into the listen. And if it gets a thing on a specific channel, basically if chan equals negative 121, don't actually have a thing for the group, but group equals message, and then trigger the move. That's how that works. You then have another listen down here where it says, in this case, it was set up to listen to a very specific thing. Up here, delete. That was the only message it could receive. It would have another thing here where if message equaled group. So basically that would be how it would tell this is the object to delete. So this larger object gets rezzed with everything else. It stores in its description the scaling and positioning coordinates. Or, I'm sorry, its rotation and its positioning coordinates. Just like everything else does. But it includes, stored up in here, its designated coordinates to watch for. So that is how you would take what I already taught you about avatar detection. You just simply set it, if it doesn't detect somebody, that it automatically gives a command, and then if it receives that command, use LL-die. LL-die just literally causes something to delete itself. We have this Mark 1 cube, touch, there. That did not go invisible. You can see anything that's actually transparent is highlighted red right now. It just ceased to exist. So if you want to create a thing like I had, where something will be rezzed, and then it will only persist as long as somebody is there to interact with it, that's how you can go through and do that. That's how you can use the system that I taught you under security to detect an avatar. You simply change it to give a command to the things that you rezzed for them to delete. And that closes out our talk on Rezzers, for the moment at least. I apologize, this is a relatively light episode. I may have mentioned last week that I got that gig working on a program for somebody. I'm in the process of actually redesigning all of that to utilize a more database-driven approach. I have an idea that should make all the rest of the development much, much, much easier, but I'm really kind of on a crunch to get that conversion tested out so that I can put it on the actual test program. I can't really give you all a lot of details, but that's what I'm up to. So I may be doing smaller videos for a little while because I'm putting a lot of effort into making that happen. But I will not abandon you all. I will continue to give you fresh content. Right now, I'm thinking about communication for next week, so starting a series on that and the different ways that you can send information to a specific user or object, because there's a lot of ways you can use that. So, as usual, I'll see you next week. Videos are normally live by noon on Tuesday, Eastern Standard Time. As usual, I am Becca, normally going by Nightcat or Nightcat's Meow when online, with only a couple of specific exceptions. And as usual, if you like, comment, subscribe, it's greatly appreciated. They really tell me that this is being of use for you all. And we've actually had a couple new people showing up, actually more than usual this last couple of weeks. So welcome aboard, all of you. As usual, if you have any questions, I do get emails on your comments, and I do check them semi-regularly. And I try to actually respond to them in videos or directly. I'm not in Second Life itself as much as I used to be at the moment because I'm focused on this project. So right now, contacting me through comments on there or Sometimes I even remember to check YouTube's direct messages, though usually I don't remember to. Sorry about that. I'll try to be better since I've realized a couple of you have tried to do that. So, as I said, welcome aboard. I hope this is helpful to you. If I haven't mentioned it to anybody, also, it's at some point I figure I'm going to have pretty much run the gamut for Linden scripting language, at least enough to give people a solid foundation to where at that point, just looking at the wiki or poking around will let you progress from there. And that's the real goal, to sort of get people to the point that they can pick up and run on their own to continue to improve. I don't think we're there yet. I think I've got a bit more, quite a bit probably, that I can teach y'all directly in this. But if anybody's interested, I do plan to continue the series past that point, just with other programming languages. I plan to do these for probably the next one will be Visual Basic, because that's what I'm working with for the project I'm currently involved in, so it's very much at the forefront of my mind. But I've also played with C++, C#, Java, JavaScript, and so I plan to do a series with all of those, and if people keep responding well to it, I will keep doing these until the point that I'm actually learning new programming languages for the sole purpose of teaching them to y'all. So hopefully most of y'all will stick around. But I think I've rambled on long enough. Thank you for your patience, thanks for watching, and good day, good luck, and happy coding!